Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be taking a very close look at the ninja team itself and all 11 of the current ninja members. That's right, we currently have 11 main ninja on the actual ninja team following Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 2. Not only will we be ranking all of these characters, but also we will be rating them in terms of how good of a character they are. It's been a minute since I've done a video like this, ranking the entire ninja team, and I figured it was about time to share my updated thoughts and opinions. For a couple of quick disclaimers, for one, this is just my own opinion. This is not the definitive list, this is not the definitive ranking, it is just my list and my ranking. For two, we are not talking about side characters here, just the core 11 main ninja as of the time of recording this video. And finally, for three, this video will indeed contain spoilers for Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 2. Keep that in mind, spoilers are ahead, you have been warned. So with those disclaimers out of the way, let's get to the actual ranking here, and I guess the rating of all 11 current ninja. We have them all lined up down here, new ninja and old ninja alike, and I will be leaving a link to this template down below in the description if you would like to do it for yourself, or after the video is over, again, feel free to leave a comment ranking the ninja, rating the ninja, telling me your favorites or least favorites, whatever works for you. But in terms of my opinion, and again, my opinion, let's start with Eren, one of the new ninja. How would I rate Eren as a character? He is a pretty good character in my opinion, very conflicted, but I think that makes him rather interesting. But because he doesn't have, again, that much history compared to some of the other ninja, I think for right now, he's gonna go in the B tier, and I will be, again, maybe adjusting the rankings as we go throughout the video here, but I like Eren a lot. Again, rather interesting character, especially being the only ninja, or at least one of the only ninja, without a proper elemental power. I think that makes him, again, a very awesome and unique character. A lot of potential with this one. Excited to see where he goes in the future. Next up, we have Sora. I will say, I think I do like Eren a little bit more than Sora, but Sora, I do believe, still deserves B tier. Her backstory is extremely interesting, and I love how she's developed as a character so far. She's come a long way since the beginning, where she was denying her elemental power, to nowadays in Dragons Rising, where she's almost one of the leaders among the new ninja, so to speak. I think that's rather awesome. And while I do prefer Eren maybe a tiny bit more than Sora, Sora is still an awesome character in my opinion. Next up, though, Wildfire, I think clears all of the new ninja, and again, because she doesn't have that much history, or I don't have that much attachment to her compared to some of the OG ninja, gonna have to leave her in B tier for now, but Wildfire has a ton of potential. Like I said, she is by far my favorite of the new ninja. I think she is such a great character just overall. Again, say what you will about her elemental power of heat not being the best thing ever, I get it, but I like her personality, I like her presence on the ninja team, and especially her relationship with Kai. I think she's a solid character who's also come a long way in Dragons Rising since we saw her towards the beginning of the series itself. Like I said, Wildfire is, again, by far my favorite new ninja, which means that Frack is not topping Wildfire, and in fact, I would say Frack is probably going to sit here at the end of the B tier for the time being. Frack, the Master of Quake, he is a cool character in my opinion. I love that we finally have a Serpentine ninja after years. It's been long overdue, so I'm glad that we finally have, again, a Serpentine ninja. I just don't think he's as great as the other new ninja, probably because he just got introduced in Season 2, hasn't really had that much time to fit into the team, and he's really only been a ninja for one season now. So I feel like maybe with time, Frack will grow throughout the ranking, possibly, but for right now, I would say end of the B tier. Nothing wrong with Frack. Again, B tier is still pretty solid. He's just not my favorite of the new ninja. Ryu, I'm gonna say C tier for right now. Ryu is probably my least favorite of the new ninja, and honestly my least favorite new ninja, period. And yes, Ryu does count as a ninja. He literally used Spinjitzu in the most recent season, so he's a ninja. Dragons can be ninja. Again, the show makes that very clear. But Ryu doesn't have much of a character, you know? He's kind of just the pet of the team, and I feel like he should be a lot more than that. He's getting there. Like I said, he literally just used Spinjitzu, but he still has a little ways to go character-wise before he gets to any of these other characters. I feel like once Ryu starts talking, and I'm sure that'll happen eventually, maybe then he will climb up the rankings for me. But as of right now, C tier for Ryu. Again, I think that's as low as we're going to get here in terms of the rankings, because right now we have the OG ninja, and Kai is a very good character, especially in Dragon's Rising. I was not the biggest fan of Kai prior to Dragon's Rising, but Dragon's Rising made me love Kai a lot, so much so I will put Kai in the A tier for the time being. Again, very, very close to S tier level. I'd say Kai is probably right on this line, but for right now, I'm gonna go A tier for Kai. Again, love how he's changed in Dragon's Rising. He's grown up, he's more mature, he's more calm and more level-headed, which I appreciate. Never really related to the hot-headed nature of Kai from the original seasons, but nowadays, again, I really respect Kai. I love him as a teacher to Wildfire, and I think he has come a long way even in Dragon's Rising itself. Next up, we have Jay, who in Dragon's Rising I am very fond of. I love his rogue personality, Jay/rogue, whatever you want to call him there. I'm intrigued by the story. I don't like him as much as Kai. Jay, for those that don't know, used to be my favorite ninja, like way back in the day when Ninjago first started, just because I liked blue and he was the blue ninja. But over time, Jay did go down the rankings for me. Dragon's Rising is slowly bringing him back up, but again, he spent a lot of time in the later seasons of the original series kind of being, dare I say, borderline annoying, so it's going to take some time for Jay to climb back up the rankings, but for right now, I will say A tier for Jay, definitely. Then we have Cole, who gets an automatic S tier. I don't think it's a secret that Cole is my favorite ninja, and he has been for years, ever since the Ninjago movie came out and going into Sons of Garmadon. And I think the strongest thing about Cole is just how, again, pun intended, how solid he is as a character. He's kind of the rock of the team, again, pun totally intended. He's a father figure to not only the Finders, but also I'd say to Frack and even some of the other new ninja too. I think that's what makes him stand out to me overall, is just how down to earth, again, the puns, he actually is. Yeah, really big fan of Cole. Loved him ever since, again, Sons of Garmadon, and he hasn't really dipped as my favorite ninja ever since. He's been my favorite ninja for quite a few years now. Going on to Zane. Zane, admittedly, hasn't had the best run as of late. I think I will put him in the A tier still, but below Jay. Again, Zane, he's kind of hollow, you know, and that's been an issue for a while for Zane, but he certainly has had a lot of great moments throughout Ninjago's past, especially in the earlier seasons. I'd say Zane was probably one of the best ninja very early on in the series, even towards the middle of the series, but towards the end of the original series, and especially in Dragon's Rising, I will admit he doesn't have much going on, and I feel like he desperately needs something. I think Season 3 was expected to give him something, but it ultimately gave him nothing. So kind of disappointing there. I feel like Zane could definitely be a lot better of a character nowadays if he had more to do. Hopefully in Season 4, because I really want to love Zane more in Dragon's Rising. As of right now, he's not, like, again, the worst thing ever. I still really enjoy Zane a lot for a lot of his history, but it's just modern Zane is kind of boring. Moving on to Lloyd, Master Lloyd, Sensei Lloyd, the Green Ninja, whatever you want to call him there. I will say A tier for him as well. I will probably put him above Jay, like right in there, I think is a good place for Lloyd. Again, it's hard not to love the Green Ninja, and for a long time, Lloyd was my favorite ninja as well. I think from the beginning of Season 2, up until, again, Cole became my favorite ninja, Lloyd was my favorite ninja, and for a lot of reasons, I just loved the Green Ninja, the idea of him. Nowadays, I really enjoy how he is taking on a sensei or master role to many of the new ninja. I think that is very appropriate given Lloyd's history. history and his family, his lineage, all of that good stuff. I think as a character, he is still very strong too, just because he's one of the main characters of Dragon's Rising, so he has more to do, more attention is put on him. I will say A tier for Lloyd. I don't like him as much as Kai. I'd say Kai is probably better than Lloyd as of right now, but Lloyd, still solid, love him. And finally for Nia, I think Nia is a very good character too, and she's come a long way, obviously, since the beginning of her character being introduced. I'm gonna say A tier. I will probably put her above Zane, just because, again, I feel like Nia has more going on than Zane does at the moment, and I feel like Nia as a character, again, the growth there is unreal. Of course, the classic going from Samurai X to Water Ninja, yada yada yada, but even in Dragon's Rising, I find her storyline so interesting. And also, she's kind of conflicted, like the case with Eren, in terms of how exactly she wants to go after Jay, and how that whole thing is going to work out. I know that some people have been complaining that Nia's storyline is solely focused on Jay. Not sure if I agree with that. I think there's a lot of themes of isolation going on with Nia's character, and how she's kind of scared of being alone. You kind of saw the same thing going on with Kai that you saw with Jay involving Nia. So I don't know if I fully am on board with that sentiment, but overall I do like Nia a lot. Of course, water is such an awesome elemental power, so that also gives her a lot of points for me. Yeah, I think I will say A tier, probably above Zane. I feel like I can comfortably say that I like Nia as a ninja more than Zane. And with that being said, I think that's going to be the ranking, everyone. So obviously ranked from best to worst, we have Cole, Kai, Lloyd, Jay, Nia, Zane, Wildfire, Eren, Sora, Frack, and Ryu. Again, there's no real bad ninja. I wouldn't say I hate any of these characters. I mean, the lowest one is in C, for goodness sakes. C is average. That's still pretty good. So overall, yeah, that's going to do it for my ranking and how I would rate every ninja in terms of a character on the S to F tier scale. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing my updated thoughts as to how I would rank the ninja. Once again, I will be leaving this template, this tier list down below in the description, so you could do it as well if you'd like, or if you would like to in the comments. Feel free to rank the ninja from best to worst according to your opinion, or if you would like, rate them on a scale like I did here. Or you can tell me your favorite ninja, your least favorite ninja, what you think of my list, and how my opinions are just oh so wrong. Whatever floats your boat, leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again next time. Peace.